This is the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Tim Minchin Time Machine. It's out 25th of July. You can also see him on an Australian tour later this year. Tickets are on sale now at timminchin.com. He's actually just about, in a couple of weeks away, he's about to start his UK tour, but he joins us in the studio this morning.
Hey, I'm here.
Yeah, you made it. Congratulations.
Look at me.
Are you ready to go, Tim? 2 weeks away from tour. Have you written your set list? What's going on?
That's such a good question. The answer is no. I never write my set list until I'm in a state of absolute panic, which is fine for me, but I've got a six-piece band, three of whom I've never played with before.
Tell us, Tim, what is this? What are we playing, Tim?
Yeah, they're just desperate to learn the songs, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't make this choice until someone's hitting me over the head.
Awesome.
I'm leaving in a week. I've got a week of rehearsals, and then I'm on. Yeah, it's exciting.
What about you do... Peter Garrett did it with the 20,000 watt RSL tour where they just had a wheel and they would spin the wheel, Tim, and they would play whatever song popped up.
I reckon you get to do that when you're in your 60s and all your songs are classic Australian anthems.
So the wheel's a while away.
So I'll be like, what song do you want? And the audience will be like, we don't know any of these songs. You're weirdo.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Do you have moments? I mean, the tour's going to be amazing and you've had sensational tours in the past. Is there a moment where Tim Minchin is able to sit back and recognise what he's achieved? Or are you no good at that?
I think I'm getting better at it. This tour and this album are both a little bit retrospective. I don't want anyone to think I'm doing a retirement tour.
Okay.
I've got a lot to do, but it's 20 years this year since I broke out in Edinburgh Fringe. I can't believe that. And so Time Machine is an album of songs I wrote in my 20s, like before I broke out as a comedian. So I've reproduced and released all these old songs. And the tour is a 20-year anniversary tour of that time. So I'm going back through all my stuff, and the process of going back through everything that's happened in the last 20 years through my musicals and my albums and has made me for the first time feel a bit like, oh, you did all right, kid. That's like, I feel okay. I feel quite settled.
I remember watching a documentary or a story on you a long time ago, and it was footage of you and you're packing your bag in a room. I'm not sure if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, this is the Rock and Roll Nerd documentary.
Yeah, but it was you saying, I just hope this works.
Yeah.
It was at a stage where it was sort of make it or break it. You worked your plums off.
20 years ago, almost to this day, that
right?
footage, that would have been the middle of 2005.
And it was you saying, make it or break it. I've given this everything, fingers crossed.
I'm 30. I was 30, right? Do you know what that means?
Wild.
That means I'm 50 this year.
Wow.
I don't know if anyone's done the maths. I don't know how it happened.
Yeah.
But
When I grow up, hey?
Yeah, I know, right?
What did you have all the recordings on, Tim? What would you record on back in the day?
Oh, well, like the songs that I'm releasing on Time Machine I recorded last year in a studio in Gosford.
Gotcha.
But they have sat in various forms. Some of them have been passed around the internet and just they haven't been properly recorded and released. But they were in lots of different forms. Like the album has lots of songs that people already know because I've been playing them live for years, but I never studio record.
Sure.
I've had this upside down career where my songs all just got known live, whereas most people record them first and then go tour them, whereas I just tour them and then 20 years later go, I probably should put that one down. Probably should give that a little mix.
Yeah, that got a good reception. Where else could they get it?
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Your songs hit a nerve with a lot of people, and we were talking
a nerve.
Yeah, they haven't gone down well.
That's a hell of a compliment. Put a bit backhanded. I'm sorry if I hit a nerve.
Sorry, mate. We've got some bad news this morning.
There's a trigger point for every song that you do have.
Some of my songs do have trigger warnings.
No, When I Grow Up is a beautiful song. You played that recently on Play School.
Oh, I did. I was on Play School.
How did that feel?
Oh, so good.
So, do you prefer the kids or the adult?
The kids or the adult? What? I couldn't hear the end of that question. Speaking of trigger warnings,
the adult stuff.
The audience.
Oh, like my grown-up material.
Yes.
One of the great joy of my career is I've got to do so many different things, and that's what I get off on. Is that 1 minute I'm writing some sort of eviscerating satire about something, and the next minute I'm writing a song to make people cry in a children's musical.
Yeah.
And like right now I've got weird facial hair because yesterday, 12 hours ago I was on set for The Artful Dodger, which is this Disney show, and I'm like, I'll play this baddie called Darius Cracksworth, and I'm just like, my life is like, it's not for everyone, like it can be a lot, like this week is one of the most stressful weeks that you can imagine. Like I'm just working 14 hours a day. I'm barely stopping to eat because I've just got so much to do.
Yeah.
But I am buzzing with
I
it. Like,
bet.
I don't even see my face. It's like I'm like, come on, let's go.
Do you know
This is
what?
what I live
Great.
for. You
Do you
know?
know, people might not understand this, and I hope this resonates with you. I don't think I've said this on air before, but when we quite often have planning meetings at the start of the year, the radio show will sit down and it'll go, who's got some ideas about what we can benchmark or put in the diary looking forward to the next 12 months? And I always say in the meetings, I'm more excited about the things we don't know we're going to do that we can't plan for.
Because that's actually
Happens
often,
every year.
Yeah, when you do your best work is when someone's got an idea a little bit too late. And I think that's why I pathologically don't settle on my set list until late. Because like in the last 48 hours, I've had this idea. I've got this old song called YouTube Lament.
Yeah.
The punchline is, I'll never have as many likes as kittens waking up. And it's a 20-year-old song, right? Yeah. But I just yesterday went to Shutterstock. Sorry, sounds like I'm advertising. And for the first time in my life, paid hundreds of dollars for the rights to a series of videos of. So I'm just going to, on the big screen, in like the ICC in November when people come to see me, on the big screen, 5,000 people will be watching me play this pseudo-classical piece, 20 years old, and I'll just play kitten videos on the screen. And so I'm having these stupid ideas that only come because I'm panicking. And I'm like, what'd be fun? What'd be fun? And I'm throwing stuff at it. Not all of them will stick. But yeah, so I the pressure is more fun than the planning. You've got to do both, though, as you guys know.
White Wine in the Sun, is that on the set list? Will that be on the set list?
Well, I think, given that I'm touring in Australia November, December, I'll get lynched if I don't.
Might make sense.
I actually think I will. It'll be the second of 3 encores if they ask for it.
It's a beautiful song. It's about being homesick, but it's Robbie Williams. Have a listen to Robbie Williams talking about that song recently.
White Wine in the Sun, the song. I listened to it and it broke my heart. And songs seldom break your heart these days. Tim has the ability to break your heart and laugh at your own broken heart at the same time. I wish I could do that.
That's awesome.
Oh, man,
You've hit a nerve. You've hit a nerve.
I've hit a nerve. I hit a Williams nerve.
Another nerve.
He's such a beautiful soul, Robbie.
Isn't he?
And he's really bright. And like the way he just articulated that's so Robbie. Just like, he's not highfalutin like lots of words like me. He's just like, he knows exactly what he's saying. So he's been really kind to me.
But you would get that feedback a lot from people.
Especially with that song and Matilda stuff. I mean, every week of my life, I have some experience of someone wanting to tell me something about a kid or a nephew or themselves, and especially Matilda, and how that's impacted their lives. You get used to everything in life, unfortunately. We habituate to all the good and all the bad, but I try to never take for granted, and I feel incredibly moved by not just that people were impacted by the work, but that they really feel compelled to
say
come
something.
and tell me. And it is an amazing privilege.
It's a gift, Tim. That's what it is, and you've affected so many people's lives. But can I ask, with White Wine in the Sun, does it start with you sitting with a white wine in the sun, or is it something where you're homesick? How quickly do you write a song like that? How quickly does it come to you?
So on this tour, I'm going to sort of click through a few of the big moments in the last 20 years, and White Wine in the Sun was written when my daughter. So we moved to London from Melbourne in 2006. We had a baby. So Sarah was 6 months pregnant when we moved. So we had a baby in a freezing cold London winter with no family around and no friends, And I mean, Sarah did all the suffering. I just did the songwriting, But the baby was 10 days old, and she had immediately and for years was not a kid who slept. She was not a very comfortable baby, And yet in that tiredness, I wrote this song about how I wanted to take her home to meet her family and to put her in the ocean. Is how I remember feeling like I needed to christen her by putting her in the ocean at Cottesloe, And I was overwhelmed in a way I never have been before or since writing that song with emotion. Like I was
Yep,
Like,
crying.
I was just like sobbing writing this song. I kept having to go down from my little attic studio to the kitchen to like settle myself. It was quite an experience, and it was a reasonably quick one. It took a couple of days.
That's beautiful. And what we were saying before about people saying, we love the music, and especially Matilda. I mean, our 5-year-old was home the other day from school, and every time she wants to watch Matilda, but like I've said to you before, she then spends the rest of the time saying you have to be a little bit naughty.
Yeah, that's right.
It's just, and I love that. But you will never understand the reach and the impact you've had.
Well, now
it's impossible to measure.
Yeah, and probably, certainly in Britain, I think nearly every kid has sung one of those songs at primary school. Like we used to sing, Flying Purple People Eater or whatever. That it is amazing. Yeah, I mean, it is incomprehensible to me.
Anything else on the list that you want
that
to do?
I need to do?
No, that when you think beyond, I mean, if you put a time frame and you wrap up the 20 years looking back, if you look another 10 or 20 forward, is there anything else in your wildest dreams you think about?
I just no. I feel like I've got all the balls in the air that I've ever wanted in the air, and now it's just about when I catch it and throw it back up again. So I love touring, but I think this year's tour I'll probably not tour for a couple of years. I've been quite overexposed in Australia. I had my book tour and I did my Unfunny show, and like I'll
We've
probably
had enough.
Yeah, I think you guys have had
We've
enough.
had a gut.
But it's been a good few years since my TV show Upright, the TV show I was in, and I've got another TV script that I'm struggling to get made because it's quite a big idea. So that there's specific projects, and I want to make another record, and of course
maybe Bollywood.
You
know what I mean?
You have no idea how close you are to a project I'm working on.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Seriously,
I love that.
Is there anything that he can't do? The Sydney show is 29th of November. It's at the ICC. Now, this will sell out really quickly, but tickets are on sale now at timminchin.com. It's Tim Minchin Time Machine. Mate, congratulations. We love having you in this studio. You know that, Tim. You're a very close friend of ours. And thank you very much for coming in, mate.
You guys are awesome, and I'm just going to say the album's called Tim Minchin Time Machine. The tour's called Songs the World Will Never Hear, and I'm only saying that because I know it's really confusing me putting two retrospective projects out at once. But I'll see you in November.
Love it, buddy. Good luck on the tour.
Thanks, boys. Thank you.
Thanks, Tim.
Fits in Whipper with Kate Ritchie is a Nova podcast. For more great shows like this, download the Nova Player via the App Store or Google Play.
The Nova Player.